What was one of your best projects that you remember being in charge of at Seven, and then if you go on and talk about that?
Well, the one that probably sticks out in my mind, probably more than anything, was Donald Campbell's water speed record at Lake Dumbleyung. Sent down there by Darcy Farrell, who was the news editor, and hired a caravan, and Campbell had broken the land speed record in the same year, and he was trying to break the water speed record as well. So it had Bluebird down Lake Dumbleyung. Of course he did it, but he did it on the last day of the year, on New Year's Eve. Everybody was prepared to go and leave, and it was mid-morning going towards lunchtime, and the wind had picked up and the lake was starting to get rippled, and they thought, no, it's finished. So in fact Campbell was on his way to the little airport to take off in a light aircraft to survey another location for doing the attempt. Somebody noticed that the wind had dropped. So the forecasters had got that wrong. They said there's going to be light winds for the whole day, but the wind had dropped to nothing, and said this might be an opportunity. So they turned around, did a U-turn, came back to the camp, got everybody organised, got the timekeepers out under positions where they had to record the time, and all the crew. And I was there with the longest lens of anybody, a 600mm lens, and everybody's racing to get to the position. And I set the tripod up, and I set the ARRI up, the ST ARRI on its cradle with the 600mm lens, and I could hear the sound of the Bluebird firing up in the distance. And I panned left, and there it was, this rooster tail coming up from the back of the Bluebird, and focused, framed, set the aperture, and he just started his run. So I had probably 5 seconds of getting it finally set up before the run took place.
That film would have gone around the world very quickly.
Yes, it was. It was shown internationally all throughout the world, but it was the most dramatic thing, and nobody knew that he'd broken the record until he'd done the first run, and in a desperate hurry to turn around and to get up to speed for the return run, so he had to have 2 of them. He wanted to do that before the wind came up again. And in a haste to do that, he accelerated too fast, blew the water into the intake of the engine, and flared out. It stopped. So they raced, they had the battery boat alongside within a matter of 30 seconds or so, recharged him and refired the jet engine, and which meant that his second run up was much shorter because he'd already started. So he just continued on and just flat chat through there and went on the return thing. And nobody knew about the record being broken until we all returned to the camp, and the timers put their heads together and said, "You've done it." That was probably the most memorable and most exciting. And it was a tragedy that in a year or so later he died on, I think, Lake Coniston, hitting a piece of wood.